Ladies and gentlemen, President Trump just hit 50% approval rating. Now, it's a Rasmussen poll, and they were right in the 2016 election. Every other poll was dreadfully wrong. So, when people say, well, you know, it's Rasmussen, and the Washington Post says, it's just a Rasmussen poll, that's true. It's favorable to Trump. All of these polls are nonsense anyway. Trump has to win swing states. He's going to win swing states. There's the poverty in the United States of America decreased from 12.7% according to the 2016, according to the census information compiled in 2016. The article is below. It's a fact check. I believe it's a factcheck.org article. President Obama's final numbers was 43.1 million people in poverty. That decreased to 38.1 million people under President Trump in 2018. Okay. The poverty rate goes from 12.7%, according to USA Today, of 11.3%. Democrats are supposed to stick up and protect and defend and represent working class and poor people and people who are struggling. It's President Trump who's lifted 5 million Americans out of poverty. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's below in the pinned comment. You can look, reputable sources. It's in the description section. Record low unemployment, record low black and Latino unemployment. The unemployment rate for Hispanic and Latino men is below the national average. So that unemployment rate is 2.9%. The national average is what, 3.5, 3.6%. You have record low unemployment. Household median income is up. You have the poverty rate for Hispanic and Latino citizens go from a little over 19% to now just over 17%. Now it should be at zero. We don't want any poverty rate, but that's a huge decrease. And you're looking at Democrats who are saying that Trump is this menace, this monster. Rasmussen is very likely evaluating Trump's poll numbers a lot in a more realistic light than most people would like to admit. So Trump just hit 50% approval. Guess what? It's the 10th time he's hit 50% approval. For the 9th time, Trump celebrates hitting 50% approval. That's March 29th, 2019. Now, it could be the 11th or 12th time. I'm just going to go with 10th time because from March 29th. So hold on one second. March 29th, 2019. That's the Washington Post. Trump hits 50% approval. Now, you have to understand, he should be, September, it's the 11th time. So September he hit 50% also. So it's the it's the 11th time he's hit 50%. The 11th time, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, oh wait, no. No, wait, let me see. Let's see this right here. So could be more than that. Okay, so January 20th, he hit 50%. This is according to Rasmussen. And now this is with millions upon millions of people being influenced by media. Media beholden. Media who have devoted their entire existence and lives to demeaning and disparaging and undermining and trying to just harm the presidency of President Donald J. Trump. But listen, so January 20th, yeah, let's look at that's one time. Okay, 50%. December 20th, 2019. Okay. Then you have December 11th, 2019. Then you have December 10th, 2019. Then you have December 9th, 2019. December 5th, 2019. That's 6 times already. 6 times already. Then you have November 18th, 7 times. November 15th, 8 times. November 7th, 9 times. Okay. So November 7th, 9 times. Then it goes to 10 times October 16th. So I'm looking at the Rasmussen daily poll numbers of President Trump. So November 16th, the guy hit, November 18th and 15th, sorry. So, oh my God, didn't I just lose track? Let's just say 10 times. November 7th, 11 times. Okay, October 16th, 12 times. And if I missed count, let me know. September 26th, 13 times. September 25th, 14 times, 24th. 52%, 23rd, 28th. So 16, 17, 18, 19. So he's hit 20 times on this poll. President Trump has hit 50% over 20 times on this poll. Okay? Well over 20 times. So I'm looking here. So it's so this is Trump Approval Index Rasmussen. He is hit. So I have no clue why. Okay, so it's so the Washington Post president so Trump hits for the 9th time. Trump celebrates hitting 50% approval. So from March, you can count at least 20 times. So he's hit the, I'll get the actual figure, but he's hit 50 times, like 50% approval rating on one day or another, at least 30 times or so. That's pretty remarkable. That's pretty remarkable when you consider the fact that you have a president that, yeah, it's well over 20 times. You have a president whose administration has been continuously, never-ending, 24/7 negative media coverage. They've set up and framed President Trump, and they found nothing in terms of working with Russia. They found nothing in terms of any direct evidence justifying impeachment. They couldn't justify impeachment. They can't. That's why they want more witnesses. They're literally in search of evidence to back up their failed narrative, which is what they were doing with the Russia probe. So you could look, the Mueller report. Second, while this is 3 years and this is what they came up with. Second, quote, this is the Mueller report. Second, while the investigation identified numerous links between individuals with ties to the Russian government and individuals associated with the Trump campaign, the evidence was not sufficient to support criminal charges. Among other things, the evidence was not sufficient to charge any campaign official as an unregistered agent of the Russian government or the Russian principal. And our evidence about the June 9, 2016 meeting and release of hacked materials was not sufficient to charge a criminal campaign finance violation. Further, the evidence was not sufficient to charge that any member of the Trump campaign conspired with representatives of the Russian government to interfere in the 2016 election. Not sufficient, not sufficient, not sufficient, not sufficient. They were not sufficient. Then you have the admission, even by 538 and the Associated Press. 538, Democrats' case against Trump, on the other hand, doesn't have that one key piece of evidence directly linking Trump to a quid pro quo. Do Democrats have enough evidence for impeachment? 538, December 2nd, 2019. And then Associated Press, Yet the impeachment witness accounts left one prominent hole that offered a lifeline for Trump and his GOP allies. And none of the witnesses could personally attest that Trump directly conditioned the release of $400 million in military aid on a Ukrainian announcement of investigations into former Vice President Joe Biden, the Democratic National Committee. Because they have nothing. So they couldn't find anything in terms of Trump-Russia. Then they went to Ukraine. That they can't find. There's no direct evidence there. There's no evidence to indict with Trump working based on the absurd notion that Trump worked with Russia to hack the DNC to inform the country that Bernie Sanders was cheated. But let's listen to this. For the 9th time, President Trump celebrates hitting 50% approval. And let's just go back in time. President Obama, this is Washington Post. President Obama is back at 50% approval. Here's how. President Obama's approval rating just hit 50% for the first time since the spring of 2013. This is January 19, 2015. Hadn't hit 50% in what? 2 years. 2 years plus. No, about 2 years. That's the biggest and most surprising takeaway from the new Washington Post ABC News poll. Rasmussen at least had the 2016 election accurate. Okay, the gains were pretty. Obama's bump, where it comes from, it remains to be seen how big or sustained the bump will be. But for a president whose second term has been marked by a steady but slight decline, he's pretty clear-headed in a different direction, at least for now. Notice the difference. Notice the difference in how they explain why President Obama hit. Wall Street Journal, President Obama's approval rating back at 50%. So you have, I don't understand. Trump boasts 50% approval rating, higher than cheating Obama. That's hilarious. Then you have Time magazine. Trump falsely claims he has higher approval rating than Obama. That's not true. Oh, but it was true in terms of Gallup a year later. This is a 2017 article. So there's a Gallup poll where Trump is actually above Gallup poll. Trump above. So Trump above. Trump job approval high. Okay, Trump job approval higher than approval of. Okay, so let's see. Gallup, Trump above Obama. There's a certain point where Trump approval 43%, ties party. Okay, so let's listen. Let's look. All right, so here you have. This is a Newsweek article. I was trying to find it. Newsweek, Donald Trump's approval rating higher than Obama's at same point in presidency, poll shows. Alexandra Hutzler, September 27, 2019, Newsweek. Despite a string of White House controversies, a recent poll shows President Donald Trump's job approval rating is currently higher than former President Barack Obama's was at the same point in his administration. According to Gallup, Trump's job approval rating is 43%, 3 points higher than Obama's 40% at the same time in his presidency. The survey shows Trump only 1 point behind Bill Clinton and 4 points behind Ronald Reagan at this point in their first term. Okay. As on September 27, 2019, at the same point in both President Obama and Trump's presidencies, Trump was higher in terms of approval rating. That's with media devoting their entire existence to undermining Trump. You have to take things into context. When Rasmussen reports that he's hit 50% yet again, and I mean, since 2017, January 20th, he's hit 50%, well over 20 plus times. You have to take it into context that media did not give him a break. The intelligence community set him up and framed him. Nobody's giving credit for Trump on anything. No foreign policy achievement, record low unemployment, first president to step foot in North Korea. And then they say, well, look what's taking place. Yeah, well, what do you expect? At least there's detente. At least he started détente between North and South Korea. And it's like a Gallup poll showed that in September, he had a higher approval rating than President Obama. So it's like, so when you look at everything in context, the Rasmussen poll looks pretty accurate. But again, this is not, whether it's 49 or 48% or 46% or 50%, or President Trump is higher than President Obama in September. This is all minutia. It's all like, it's not that important. The issue is that despite media, Hollywood, New York Times, Washington Post, New York, MSNBC, CNN, corrupt intelligence officials, then they get more corrupt intelligence people during impeachment. Then they impeach Trump, and his swing state voters, his approval is increasing because of impeachment. He was just the most admired man. So you have a situation where they can't touch Trump. Give me your thoughts below. They can't touch him. Everything they do only helps him. I mean, they're living a very miserable existence. Give me your thoughts below. This is great news. 50% yet again. Give me your thoughts. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel right this second.